Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Today, Friday, the 9th of July, 2021, the Ministry of Health and Wellness reported one new COVID-19 related death. To date, the total number of COVID-19 deaths in country is 50, and the total number of COVID-19 related deaths is 36. COVID-19 related death number 36 is an 80-year-old female from the Choiseul district with underlying medical illnesses. The ministry also received confirmation of 6 new cases of COVID-19 and the recovery of 2 individuals diagnosed with the virus. This brings the total number of active cases to 111. Presently, 3 of the active cases require critical care at the respiratory hospital. The new cases bring the total number of cases diagnosed in country to date to 5,380. Members of the public are weighing in on Stephenson King's speech and the United Workers' Party's announcement of Janine Giraudy McIntyre as its new candidate.
Well, as usual, I think everyone knows where I stand when it comes to politics. It's the usual. It's about backbiting. It's about stabbing in the back. It's a chess game among them, but they're all friends. I mean, I think Mr. King himself told me one time that they're all friends, so they should stop fooling the people. After Parliament, they all get together, they drink and they eat. I've been a witness of that, so I don't get caught up in that too much.
5 years of service. You know, you have a choice. You have a choice to whether you want to contest or send his resignation. But the 45 years of service, he's supposed to be loyal to his party. He's supposed to be truthful to his party. So if you go independent, I don't know, anything can happen. The young lady will win. Yeah, she'll win. She'll win. I believe that she'll win. She'll win the seat. You know? So Mr. King has to think about his future right now.
I did not see the speech. I have no comment.
Very good. I don't understand people. Mr. King did his best, honey. People have to try to understand and respect the man's opinion. He went through it enough. So the man say he finished, he finished.
I even hear speculation of people saying that he might form his own party. Don't know how true that is. But it's just not good for the party. It's not good for the constituency.
Do it at the wrong time. The way you do it, he's supposed to be man up and do it before the election. As a man. Be a man and do things like a man. Do things like children. That's my opinion.
I believe you should have been updating them in a way more audio sense so that they can understand clearly what she was going through, because at the end of the day, consistently from what I observed, electorate in that area, in that constituency, were placing all the confidence in this gentleman as a leader. So I think he should have repaid them by a audio notification. It's a bit too late to me going into a critical election.
I believe that it was quite succinct. It was clear. It was he outlined his reasons for leaving and has said basically what he needed to say. I mean, the king is a politician, and I believe that he's doing what is best for him and best for his constituency.
Those were your views in our Have Your Say segment. Some $10 million has been approved for emergency assistance following the passage of Hurricane Elsa. Elsa, which struck St. Lucia as a Category 1 hurricane on the 2nd of July, caused major damage to the island's agricultural sector as well as its infrastructure. On Friday, the Prime Minister, along with Ministers for Agriculture and Equity, updated the country on how the money will be spent.
Hurricane Elsa caused widespread damage across St. Lucia, with the most damage being recorded in the agriculture sector. Some $34 million in crop losses were recorded, as well as damages to homes and other infrastructure. After a thorough assessment of the damages this past week, the island's Prime Minister updated the nation on how it would source the funds to recoup some of those losses. In Hurricane Elsa's aftermath, government applied to the Economic Fund for Emergency Assistance, where $10 million has been approved, with $5 million going into agriculture, $3 million in the Ministry of Equity, $1 million towards the CDC, and $1 million to road repairs and cleanup.
Sadly, the thresholds that we achieved, or the hurricane achieved, did not qualify us to get a significant payout from CRIF. We've not gotten the formal letter, but we were certainly advised that we would to only expect about $130,000 US from CRIF. And as you can see in the agricultural sector alone, we suffered over $36 million or $34 million in crop damage. In the assessment by NEMO and by Equity, as I said, almost 500 homes have been impacted. And we know that the cleanup of roadways and drains would have been an unexpected expenditure at this time, as well as the roofs at the CDC buildings. 13 of the buildings were damaged, and we now have to replace them because we're still at the beginning of the hurricane season. And that's the same thing for the agricultural sector. So we have to get back into the ground as quickly as possible.
The Agriculture Minister detailed the areas that would receive assistance following the damage caused by Hurricane Elsa.
We have agreed to give some support as it pertains to labor, on labor support. So there's some financial support will be given. We're targeting almost 2,487 acres, and farmers will be given support as far as it's concerned to assist them in being able to hire labor for them to be able to rehabilitate their respective fields. We have also agreed to give support as it pertains to fertilizer inputs. We are going to provide inputs free of charge, one application for fertilizer, and also one application of oil and fungicide for our farmers.
Livestock farmers will also receive $300,000 in support. Banana farmers and vegetable farmers will also receive assistance.
Our vegetable farmers got damaged too. Unfortunately, mostly it was the infrastructure. And the infrastructure referring to had really got severely damaged with a number of greenhouses. The figures is showing that over 100 greenhouses got affected. And we have agreed that to provide an allocation both to repair the greenhouse and to assist our vegetable farmers who are severely affected. Because the reality is that the technology, the greenhouse technology, is one where our farmers around this time can capitalize on using the greenhouses to cultivate the respective crops that we know can be very difficult during the rainy season. And of course, the rainy season coincides with the demand period for vegetables in St. Lucia.
Most of the damages suffered to homes were from middle and low-income families. According to the Equity Minister, Leonard Montoute, the agency which will conduct the relief work necessary is the St. Lucia Social Development Fund.
The 50 households that I mentioned that were completely damaged will provide assistance to the tune of up to $15,000, which will amount to some $750,000 to do the repairs that is needed. And the estimated 450 households that suffered damage to their roofs will receive between a range of $1,500 to $7,500. And that will work out to be an estimated $2.25 million. And so I ask that people out there who have suffered damage, it's a few days already, just be a little patient. We are rolling out this program as quickly as possible. We understand your plight, we recognize the need for the assistance, and we did all that we could to receive the funding as soon as we can, and we will waste no time in ensuring that we reach you in executing and implementing the relief that is needed.
Resources are being made available and will be available for disbursement come next week. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
The deputy political leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, is calling on the government to put petty politics aside when it comes to Hurricane Elsa relief. The incumbent MP for Castries South says post-Elsa, SLP candidates have rolled up their sleeves to assist people impacted by the Category 1 hurricane.
We just had a hurricane, it's not a week yet. There's still so many solutions that have lost their roofs and their fences and galvanized and whatnot, and a lot of our candidates are actually on the ground helping out as best as they can. We've not received any support from government to to help our constituents, and we just have to do what we can with the little that we have, and in most cases it's giving moral support and physical support to people to redress their situation.
The SLP has consistently decried the politicizing of support to constituencies, accusing the government of bypassing elected MPs and instead channeling constituency funds to UWP hopefuls. There are concerns that the departure of long-standing member of the UWP, Stevenson King, will impact the entire election. The spokesperson for the United Workers' Party, Nancy Charles, is not convinced that this is the case. She says the work of the party will speak for itself and the support of its members will continue despite King's absence.
Many believe that with Stevenson King now out of the picture, the chances of victory at the polls for the United Workers' Party have significantly diminished. Spokesperson for the United Workers' Party, Nancy Charles, says the party is not daunted and remains optimistic and confident of a win both at the constituency level and nationally.
As you can see, we just brought a few of the members of the party here to show support, and that the party continues to have the support on the ground in the constituency. And as Mrs. McIntyre indicated, we will continue to work with the constituents, we'll work the constituency. And I think it's a little too early for you to say that everybody's supporting him or not. You have mixed reaction, you've seen it on social media, but the party is very confident that the support for the United Workers' Party, the work that we have done and we continue to do and we are proposing to do, is going to take us to the next level, and we will certainly be victorious in the Cashieres North constituency.
UWP political leader Alan Shastney has echoed these sentiments. He says while the situation is unfortunate, the party has regrouped and refocused.
The United Workers' Party is a very rich in talent party, and we have been hit by many crises and shocks over the years, and I'm proud of the fact that we don't sit on our laurels and complain. We get on with the job. And that's exactly what the United Workers' Party has done. Once receiving confirmation from Minister King that he was resigning, we had a National Council meeting. National Council meeting empowered the executive to do the final endorsement of our candidate. I was put in charge of looking for the candidates. There were several persons that made applications to the position.
St. Lucians will take to the polls on the 26th of July 2021. Genevieve Gonzague for the Hot 7 TV Nightly News, Election Central.
Stay with us, there's more news after the break.